First half lap. Anyone who's curious, the little yellow thing on the deck of Emily's bike is a power tap. We're measuring her output today. She's a young lady who has on occasion broken 1,000 watts. It's a pretty decent amount of power for a 14-year-old girl. And as we have mentioned, she is currently the silver medalist at stage 15 in the 500 metre time trial, and the reigning state and Metro champion in stage 17 and state champion in stage 15 in the 500. Very, very fast young lady indeed. And she trains tremendously hard and reaps the rewards of that training. Plus a lot of fast twitch. She's doing a pretty good job at the moment of just holding clear on her hip. And she exercises the trademark Emily Appolito move of the hook and dive, just coming into turn 1. And she's gapped there quite comfortably. They're still chasing, she hasn't given up at this point. And Emily just picking over that nice high cadence. Sally's restricted to 82 gear inch. And she there with a bit of a late run there, but I think Emily, we're guessing perhaps what the trick is to doing that, keep the pace up high. And the juniors on restricted gearing will struggle because they can't spin high cadences for very large periods of time. So if Alex is to be a chance here, he has to get it going quick early and try and burn James off and remove the jump from the equation, and James will try and keep it slow and sharp. And Alex certainly applying pressure there, keeping the pace up. Jamie having to hold him. Alex at the moment with just a slight wheel in front as he comes into turn 3. Come around now. Just under that evil fast tooth bend sign that we just can't remove. If anyone has a concrete scraper, I'd love to borrow it one day. The pace a little bit lower than perhaps Alex would prefer at this point. Jamie very comfortably with Alex firmly attached to his hip. Alex looking for an opportunity to dive under, and he takes it. And Alex has made a good move there underneath James Stan, but James responds very quickly with that big jump that he's got, and bang, he's away. And Alex certainly did an enterprising thing, but it just wasn't enough to deal with the acceleration of James. And James jumps well clear, and James can shut it down now because Alex they just cruise over the line. So a great move there from Alex Vaughan. 17.5 and Davis 16.6. So about 0.9 of a second between these two riders in qualifying. So fairly close at this level. Ali in the blue, Dave in the red, white and black. Sally makes a big move there, and Dave's going to have to do a bit of chasing if he's to get on. Sally's put the bit between the teeth, and she's working hard now, but Dave's just starting to pull her back and gets into the draft coming into turn 2. Dave's sitting up a little bit high there. Let's see if he's got the legs to come past down the back straight. He starts to make a bit of an acceleration. Sally holding him off at the moment, but Dave with a bit of speed up the back straight. Can Sally hold him on the hip as they come around through the corner? Certainly is at the moment, but Dave again with just a little bit more speed there than Sally has, and he's going to flick around the corner and come through to take this one by a bike length or 2. It's a good move from Sally. Riders. Rob will have his work cut out, although he did qualify slightly faster. Steve hasn't done an awful lot of racing at this track, and he's just learning how quick he can go around the bottom corner. So I expect we'll see him go faster throughout the day. Rob can tend now to let Steve take the lead and get in the draft up that back straight. And try and lull him into a false security, or perhaps engineer a bit of a lead out. At the moment, Rob quite tends to sit as close behind and as close into his blind spot as possible. And the pace comes right off as they come into turn 4. Will this be a jump or a long wind out? It's a jump when the bell rings. It's a bit of a reflex that you often see when the bell rings. Well, riders will just jump because they heard the bell ring. Rob Tidy now in the lead, and he looks like he's just soft pedaling a little bit to try and lull Steve into a false at security, and then he hits the gas up the back straight, and they're side by side as they come into turn 3. Can Rob hold Steve off? It's going to be pretty close, this one, as they come around the bank. Turn 4, and it's a charge for the line. This one's going to come right down to the finish. And he chooses to take the lead away from him, which he can do. This will be an interesting little one. Both riders very close in qualifying. Again, in the navy blue, the cross down skin suit, and Alan on the Avanti, in black and white and red. Ian trying to get into Alan's blind spot there and doing a pretty good job of it at the moment. Of course, the real advantage of being in the blind spot is the other rider can't pick when you make a move. There's not a lot of point just being there just for the sake of it, although you can sometimes make a rider nervous and force them to react to the move early. In this case, Alan's gone pretty early. It's going to be a long sprint. This will be around about 450, 500 metres. That's a bit of a look around. He's under pretty good control. But Ian's good at his teeth. He's taking a bit of a run at him. Coming in now to turn 1, coming through into turn 2. Ian's starting to ramp it up. Ian's going to have to lift if he's holding him off. Sorry, Alan's going to have to lift. Ian's coming now up the back straight in the draft. And a little bit of speed around the back straight. Can Alan hold him off? Here comes Ian around the outside. Alan's going to need to lift now to hold him. It's a real charge for the finish. Both men very tired as they cross the line, but Alan takes that one by half. Understand how this works. The rider who has the low line is obliged to lead for the first half lap, unless the following rider chooses to take the lead from them. So Neil's not allowed to stop or go slower than walking pace at this point for the first half lap, and then he may do so. He can, of course, accelerate whenever he likes, and so too can Chris. Chris with the disc wheel. They're watching this very closely, making sure that Neil is, in fact, travelling at walking pace. He's not allowed to come to a halt until he crosses the pursuit line, which is still about another 30 metres down the track. It looks like Neil wants to put Chris in front and try and get a run at him. Neil is now able to stop if he wants to, according to the rules, so it looks like he doesn't want it. Looking at the difference between cadences between the two riders, it looks as though Neil's still on a very large gear. Chris on a gear a little bit lighter. I'd be guessing at high 90s for Chris. Neil at low 100s. Ian McGinley now looking for the chuck bucket as he walks up to the infield. That was a long sprint from Ian's race. He'll be feeling that one. So come around now to get the bell. The bell rings. If we don't get the reflex response, we'll jump on the bell. Chris looking for an opportunity to perhaps to sneak underneath Neil, but Neil won't give him the chance to do that. Neil will keep Chris right up high on the fence. And there's a hook and dive there from Neil at midway around the corner, but Chris very alert to that, basically waiting for it to happen. Chris sitting in the saddle while Neil gets out and tries to drive it on. Will Chris time his run to perfection, or will he leave it too late? He comes around the outside now. He's lifting, but so too is Neil. This is a real drive for the line. But Chris Ray, too strong. Now we have Dino in the Flying V, the Victorian skin suit, and Stu Lucy, who had a rampaging win earlier against Neil Robinson. They took a real flyer at him up the back straight and stood past him and flew past him. Dino won't let that happen to him. Dino is the Masters champion, but Stu Lucy's taken Dino a little bit by surprise there. He's up pretty well clear. Dino's going to have a lot of chasing to do to pull him back. Stu on a pretty little gear. Dino on a gear that's a fair bit bigger. Can this pursuit to this race be overcome by Dino? Dino's charging at Stu now, and he's got a fair bit of speed up that front straight. Stu with a second kick now. Dino responds to that kick as well, and they cross the 200 metres line, 200 metres to go, about to 150, and Dino's still driving. This is going to hurt both of these guys as they're shoulder to shoulder around the last corner. Coming under that evil fast move in the sign. Can Dino come around the outside of Stu? Can Stu hold on? Stu on a little tiny gear, Dino on a big gear, and Dino